Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. I'm sure I had a front weight somewhere. It's very heavy on the back with this thing. Very, very heavy on the back with this thing. It's almost a little bit too much for this tractor. It's not quite. It is acceptable. But he's pushing the limits of what that tractor can take, really, isn't it? Front weight. Oh, I know I did have a front weight. There's one over here. So we'll go and get that one. I'm going to be using it. I don't need to reset the tractor or anything. So the thing is, if you reset a tractor when you've got a front weight on, you've also then got to reset the front weight along with it. And that takes time. And I don't really want to be messing around with that. I'm just going to take this one the same way that we took the other one. We want to get down there quickly. It's not like if I was doing stuff like selling and things like that, then yeah, fine, I would be driving around the roads. But I just want to get the things down there and do this fairly quickly. Also, it does give us a chance to have a little play around, a little bit of a mess around here and see what we can do. I don't want to get stuck in a bit down the bottom. Okay, this tractor is absolutely perfect for this. I'm going to try and do this without slowing it down before I get down to the bottom. I'm going to regret that decision. No, stop. Okay, land on your feet. Okay, I still haven't turned off the cruise control. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic. I haven't turned off the cruise control yet. No brakes, no turning off cruise control. I've just left it going absolutely flat out all the way through. That was absolutely brilliant. I can't believe it landed. I mean, I know that the game does kind of favor making you land on your wheels, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, I like that it does that. It makes life a little bit easier. Right, there we go. We got 4,500 litres of sunflowers so far. If I bring you up this way, that combine has currently got 1,800 litres of sunflowers on board. There is not a lot that I can do at the moment, so I'm going to let that one keep going. Right there. Let's have a look next. We're at 50% done. I don't think we're going to have it 100% done just on harvesting the sunflowers. I think we are going to need to also sell some stuff as well. We'll deal with that in a second. Let's get you back up to the farm, and I'll get that fertilizer spinner hooked back on that I got there ready and waiting for you. And I will also get the, because we've got the front weight and everything there as well. So we get that one hooked back in. He's ready to roll. And then we can go back and check on our combine again. Now the combine is sitting with 2,500 litres on board. 58%. Looks like it's just turning around at the moment. There's nothing going into it from what I can see of the I think it's vehicle glance mod. From what people said in the comments. I think it's vehicle glance mod or vehicle inspector or something along those lines. Is that little mod up in the top left-hand corner. Something like that. I don't remember exactly which one. I do have a Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description down below. It's actually a link to another video. Go to that video and you'll find the link in that video. And there is a more comprehensive list of mods that are being used on the Discord. I can update them on there quite easily and stay on top of them. And also, there are plenty of people there who know what mods are being used and know a great deal more about the mods in general than I do. We've got some people who are very knowledgeable about mods and are usually, if they're not in a bad mood, quite happy to answer people's questions about mods. If they're in a bad mood or if they're just not feeling up to it, then they just won't answer. It's that simple. You're not going to get a rude response. That's reserved just for me. I'm the only one that gets the rude responses. Sort of along the lines of, for goodness sake, Chris. We told you this already. Why do you never pay attention to anything we say, you abject failure? Or something along those lines. I'm sure of it. I may have just dreamed it. I'm not really sure at this point. I've not had enough coffee today, I don't think. Or maybe I've had too much. It could be either way, really. It could be either or. Right, that combine, by the time that one gets all the way back up to this end, we'll be looking at almost a full tank. So we will run along beside it with our trailers here. I'm very curious to find out how much of the job is going to be complete when the combine has completed everything over there. We're on 64% of the job done at the moment for Benjamin Eck, who is the owner of Field 12, which has an area of 1.39 hectares. Field 1 needs to be sown. It's 24,000 euros is offering for that one. Now, I'm not sure that it's really worth this job for just 2,500. It doesn't seem like a great deal. But not only are we going to get the 2,500, I'm hoping that we also get nearly a trailer load of sunflowers that we will be able to keep for ourselves. And that's where our real profit is going to come from for this job. This is why I'm quite pleased about this one. And also, it should help pay for the sunflower header. That's the other point of this. We can help pay for the sunflower header that we are currently using. Now, I'm not going to empty the combine right out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run alongside it like that so that it will turn, carry on round like that. It'll keep going, and I'm just going to run back up to this end, and I'm going to let the combine come racing back up through, turn round, and then we'll follow it back down across the field once more. So we're on 70% at the moment. Looks like it's 3, maybe 4% each time it does a pass across the field. So we're going to be looking at 80, possibly close to 90% of the job done by the time it finishes combining. And then it's the grain being delivered. So I don't know how much of job percentage gets done for every 1,000 litres of grain that we deliver. So 72%. Okay, so it's not quite as much as I thought it was. Yeah, I don't know how much of this grain we're going to end up losing. Like, I was really hopeful to start with that we'd end up with, like, loads and loads and loads of it. But it doesn't look like we're going to get quite that much. I've never really paid close attention when doing any of these jobs to just how much percentage of a job is taken up with delivering the grain itself. Because, like, you do the job and then you get the money. And that's just kind of how it works. But I've never really paid attention to, like, if I stick 1,000 litres of these sunflowers in, what percentage of the job is that going to complete? Now, obviously, it's going to be different for every job because the fields are all different sizes and things like that. But we are looking like, it does look like it's going to be at least 80% complete by the time the combine gets down through there. Maybe a bit more than that. Because it was 72, but then it got to 75 down the other end. So he's going to come up through here. He's got a full width at least to take going down again. And then I think that's about it. So 78% up here. Yeah, it's going to be at least 80, slightly over that. I'm going to fill up the front trailer completely. You know what? I'm actually just going to leave the combine to run. I'm not going to bother trying to empty it a minute. We're just going to let it go through and do what it needs to do. Let it finish all of this. So it's going to be one full pass and then maybe another little tiny strip to do as well. We're on 81% of the job so far. Obviously, yeah, like it's not a percentage of the job per 1,000 litres of grain because every single job is slightly different. So that, like, doesn't sort of come into it. But what I haven't paid attention to is how much of the grain delivery is on, like, for the job overall. Like, if I do all of the harvest on a contract job for harvesting, does it always go to like 85% complete when you've harvested absolutely everything and then the remaining 15% is taken up with delivering all of the grain? Is that a sort of thing that might happen? I mean, I don't really know, because I've never actually paid close attention to it before. Now, I'm not going to take any chances here whatsoever. I'm going to start that one here, and I'm going to drive down towards the field, because there could be a little tiny invisible line of sunflowers through here that we haven't yet harvested, so I'm taking 0 chances on this one. If there's even a single grain, I want to get it, because it may be an extra little bit of the percentage of the job. Every tiny, tiny speck counts, and it was ticking up there on the numbers for the sunflowers before I actually reached the sunflowers. Now we can put the spout out. We've got another 2,500 litres, and that will be everything done. I can reset this one up to the shop. Once I've emptied it out, I can reset it to the shop, and then we can sort of take it from there. Now, rather than putting it in that trailer, I'm going to put this 2,500 litres in the back trailer. Because at least, you know, I reckon that we ought to be able to take the 2,500 litres back. I'm hoping that we'll get more than that. So what's the job telling us overall at the moment? 84%. So we've got 16% of the job left. Now, if I leave you there a second, and I go to this one, I'm then going to reset that to the shop. I don't know if it's going to mess anything up by resetting it before I've completed my task, but I don't think it will. Reset you as well. So you're gone up there. And now I am left with 10,762 litres of sunflowers in these 2 trailers. I'm going to run these to the transport company. So we need to go in through here. I was just wondering if I could, like, cross the tracks and weave in through there. I don't think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to go all the way down here and stick it up beside the train on that ramp, and we're going to try and do this properly. I am tipping out on the left-hand side here, so I'm going to go right the way round to the other ramp, to the loading ramp, and I'm going to do it from that side. So I'll bring you in here. I'm not going to tip out everything. Right, bring you up like that, there, and I'm going to tip out some of it. I'm going to go down to about 5,000 litres. Right, I'm going to stop there, actually. 41% transported for field 12. Says 93% done. There, stop again. It's now saying 57% done. 96 on there. Do a bit more. Contract complete, but it's not saying anything else. So I just got a little tiny bit of harvest income as well. It came up, contract complete, so now I can collect that one. And that's finished. And I've got 2,860 litres, 2,868 litres of sunflowers remaining. Now, the price that we're being offered here at the transport company for sunflowers is 2,300. That's not the best price even available at the moment. And as the price goes up to almost 2,800, I'm not going to take it. What I am going to do is I'm going to drive the scenic route back, and we're going to take a little look at some of the surrounding countryside as we drive. I don't think we're going to get a growth stage this evening. I think we're going to get a growth stage tomorrow. So I'm just going to go up to like 30 times speed on there, and this one is going to go around here. So all of this we will eventually turn into field. We may smooth, I think we will smooth this out a little bit, like over on a corner over there. Seems a little rough. And what I did before was I had all of this as one big field. Odd-shaped sides, admittedly, but it did work out fairly well as one big field. And I did used to have to put, I don't think I was able to get the combines up this hill without taking the headers off. I think I did have to take the headers off in order to get them up this hill. This tractor is absolutely fantastic until it touches a slope. As soon as it gets anywhere near a hill of any kind, it just doesn't have a lot of power under the bonnet, does it? It's got a reasonable road speed on it, but it really, really doesn't like hills, and it really struggles with hills. But, I mean, look at that. Look at that view. We're coming up here. That is quite a fantastic view. So all of that work I just did, I got 2,500. I did get an extra 300 for a little bit of the crop that we had. Plus we've got 2,800 litres of sunflowers right here. And if we can get 2.5 grand per 1,000 litres, then we've got roughly $7,000 here. So all told, we are, from this job, pulling in just under $10,000 from this job. That's what we're going to have pulled in from this job by the time we actually finish selling all of the crop that we got from it, and we've like cashed in on everything. 10 grand for harvesting that tiny little field down there. That's not too shabby. That is what I would call a very acceptable rate of return. That is quite nice. That's quite a tidy sum. I'm not entirely upset by that. Little tiny. I don't know what that is. Like some sort of ancient watchtower. I don't really know what it would be for though. I don't think it's an ancient watchtower. I'm not sure. Does anybody know what that tower is over there? What it would be for? Is it sort of something that's been rebuilt? It looks like an old watchtower of some kind. It's then later been rebuilt, something along those lines. But I really don't know. This is the sheep, by the way. This is the sheep pen in here. We're not going to be doing sheep this time. I have no intentions of actually doing anything with sheep, but it's always good to just sort of see where things are. I'm not going to cut across any fields. I'm going to do this sensibly. I'm going to drive down the length of my fields, and we're just going to see how things are down that way. I've got 30 times speed. The roads are quite bumpy here in places, but I think that's like the map maker is deliberately. I don't remember them being bumpy like this in FS13. So I think the map maker has just made the roads slightly uneven in places. And, I mean, it's not going to stop us from doing our enlarging thing, you know, going round and making all of the fields bigger and ploughing up a lot of these roads. It just means that I got to level them out first. I got to do a little bit of work just to smooth out the roads before I get to work on the rest of it. Now, I'm going to take this one down around the outside of the yard. I'm going to go over this side. I'll run down through there and down the outside of the farm down through here, and then I can go and tip this stuff out. And then once I've done that, we will put these trailers back over on the, well, sort of in the road train park. I used to park road trains there. That's where I would, like the bigger road trains, I'd park them over there. And there's the other few sunflowers. I don't need to at the moment because I got room in the yard for just these two. But that's where I used to go and park them. Wait a minute. I want to go there and there, like that. Right. And then I can bring you back over to here like this, and I can unhitch those two there. And this tractor can just go and park in the shed a minute. And then I need to go to bed. Betty buys time. Not going to try and do any fertilizer spinning now. We will wait until the morning. I'm gonna go until early morning, so I'm not gonna do 14 hours. I'm gonna do 11 hours of sleep. I think we'll have an 11-hour break. That's gonna take us to very early in the morning. I still think we'll probably have ended up with 2 growth stages before morning time gets here. So there's 30 times speed. It's 40 past 6. It is 40 past 6. There's the sunflowers, and we've already gotten quite the growth stage on here, so I'm going to... Oh, well, I don't have crop destruction on anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But, yeah, I'm just going to set the hired help going in there. You can keep going. I'm going to let it go at 30 times speed, because we can have one more growth stage before we need to worry about... not being able to apply any fertilizer. And while that one is doing that, I'm then going to go to our combine down here. I'm going to get you back to the yard, and then you're going to be ready to actually start harvesting our own sunflowers. So we've done a little test. So far, we've done a little test just to see how well this one works with sunflowers, and it works beautifully. It works absolutely beautifully. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It was a clean, even cut all the way through. It did everything we could possibly have hoped for with combining sunflowers. It did it fast as well. It was fast, clean, and efficient. That's what I liked about it. Fast, clean, and efficient. And we had no real issues whatsoever. We made a little bit of money out of it, and we stand to make a lot more money out of it once we've gone and done our harvesting up this way. There's another thing that I just wanted to look at. Let's just turn those beacons off a second, and I want to go into here. Sunflowers today, 2,300 right there. We're not going to be selling, well, we're not going to be harvesting just yet. I'll bring this one over here, and I'm just going to have it waiting the sidelines eagerly, just awaiting its chance. There, bring you back over to there like that. I'm going to stop you right there. You are ready to go. And this one is also ready to go. There isn't a lot else for us to do for a minute. We just kind of got to wait for this one to go and do what it's got to do. And then we need to, like, I can't fast forward time too much faster than it is right now until the fertilizer spreading has been done. It is getting done at a nice rate. Oh, we've missed a bit up there. Actually, we'll follow this one down, and then I'll do that bit down there. Run a line, like a line along the top, and I'll just get that last little bit finished. You can have one more growth stage, can't you, before harvest? Actually, I can check that. I can check that right here. Yes, we're on this one. So we can go to the dark green growth stage as well. Now, if we have a look in here, field 17, that's actually ready to harvest right now. And that was sunflowers, wasn't it? Yeah. Field 26 is sunflowers. Field 17 is sunflowers. 26. Oh, that's ours. Right, ignore that one. Field 25 and 17 are both ready to harvest. And they're the crops that we want. So I'm just going to go, I want to go to you a second. I'll bring you back round over here like this. And I want to, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to have the hired help do it because I've hardly got any fertilizer left in this spinner. I'm just pressing H on everything. There, you've completed your task. And then I can run back over this side and I will run the last bit. We'll go down the side of the field here next to the track. And then it will move over into the middle of the field and finish that bit off as well. In theory. Right, yeah, you're doing great. Field 17. What would we be offered for Field 17? It's got to be on this list. It's absolutely got to be on this list. It's not on the list. If you're not on the list, you're not coming in. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Field 17 is not on the list. What about Field 25? Is Field 25 on the list? No. They're all laughing at me. 17 and 25 are not on the list. Field 40 all the way up. Field 40 is ready to harvest as well. Let's have a look. Is Field 40 on here? I doubt it. I'd be very surprised if Field 40 was on there. Field 40 is not on there either. Right. There are no more sunflowers, so we've got nothing else. I can go and do other crops with it, but I don't really want to do that. If I was going to do something, I sort of figured, well, we could do a little bit of sunflowers, but no, I'm not particularly interested in doing that. We got sugar beet in Field 14. I don't want to buy Field 14 while there's sugar beet in there, so we've got to wait for that to finish. What is... And that's still growing. So even if we were to sell all this off the field and we had enough money, not buying Field 14 until that sugar beet has been harvested. I'm not interested in getting involved in doing that. Yeah. Right, you're done here. That's that last little bit there. So we can go whizzing up to the top field and we can start the fertilizer spinning going up there. And then once I've got that bit all done... There we go. Excellent. Right, once we've got the top bit all done, that's it. We've just got to wait for the harvest. And In the meantime, what I was thinking is we could also go and have a look and see, take a look at the tractors again and just kind of drool over what tractor it is that we want to get. I want something to replace this one as the first priority. This is a nice tractor, but he's definitely the most underpowered of them. I know that the Fiat is very slow getting from field to field, and that is a little bit of a problem for us. It is a little bit of a drawback, but it's not a major problem. This one being underpowered and not being able to do the work properly is, I would consider that more of an issue than the Fiat being slow to get from one field to the other. Like, that's something that we can sort of learn to live with, at least in, you know, just in the short term. Go on, off you trot. There you go. You're doing a great job. I've got complete and total faith in your abilities in there. Let's go and have a look in here. So we've got that one right there, which has the 50k box on it. And it's the 50k box that is the overriding factor that I want on this. Anything with a 40... I mean, the Lintracks there are absolutely fantastic because they've got rear-wheel steer on them. So it is a really awesome tractor, but it's not what I want. It's not what I want at the moment. That's also a hill tractor. That's designed for hills. Look how wide it is and squat. That machine right there is designed for working on hills. All right, that's sort of designed for the Swiss mountains. That one right there. We're not in the Swiss mountains. We're not going with that. We are looking for anything that says 50. Even the Fendt right there has only got a 40k. The Valtra there has got a 50k box. So that one is a distinct possibility. Especially when we go with the 200 horsepower engine setup right there, which is $150,000 euros. I don't want the Kramer. The class right there, you are a 40k box again. And then, of course, you got some Stevie mods that are 60k box, 70k for the Valtra. Right? You know, they're starting to sort of go up by quite a substantial amount. I got the N-Series Cow Edition there as well. So, no, I'm not going to go with those. Possibly the 150,000 one that we were just looking at. That could be interesting. The New Holland right here. The biggest engine we have. That goes up to 175 horsepower, which is not so bad. And it is cheaper. But, yeah, it's 25 horsepower less as well. So, you know, there's pros and cons here. The Stayer, 145. Pretty sure I've already gone and looked at all of these. That's 175 as well. That's only 120,000. That's a lot cheaper. I'm thinking the Stayer is probably like one of our best options. And when we do have this one, and this one here, this medium Valtra right here, if I go for the big engine on it, it's 250, but it's $200,000 as well. The Stayer is nearly 100,000 cheaper than that. So the Stayer may be our mainstay of operations in the future. Right now it's not going to be. Right now we just need to wait for this to finish. We've just had another growth stage. We've now got very tall sunflowers, and they're all facing this way at the moment. Do the sunflowers in this? I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat. And then we can get back to it, nice and refreshed, and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.